I'm okay with that.
We will take a little bit cool.
It's 6:44. As promised, we've been giving you updates on the flash flood recovery. We're like 2 weeks removed now.
Yeah, so AJ Mumm is here. He is with Polk County Emergency Management, and there are a lot of people in the community who experience flooding, and they can't help themselves, or they can't do it all themselves. It's just too much of a problem. So you have a wonderful...
Yeah, it's a long road to recovery, and it's going to be that for several months, if not years. So we want to make sure that people know that there's help out there, and the volunteers have been extraordinary so far, and we just don't want to see that start to drop off. We know that there's people that are going to need help, and we want to be able to make sure that they get that help.
So you're still looking for volunteers?
Absolutely. We've got faith-based groups. Last week we had a couple local sports teams, high school teams. Drake men's basketball volunteered, and so I hate to get into that list because there are others, and we appreciate that, but I'd like to motivate others to volunteer.
So at the city council meeting, we're just talking Des Moines specific right now. They're talking about buyouts. They're talking about they're in that phase of their recovery now. What does that tell you about where we're at as far as county, metro goes, you think, here? Well,
the cities and the county have both looked at programs to fill that gap between that volunteer effort, the immediate work that can be done to clean up somebody's home, and then that longer term support, both public infrastructure as well as individuals in their homes. We know there's a lot of people that are going to fall into that gap, and we just don't want to see them left behind, and the cities and the county are working hard to make sure that they can do what they can to fill that gap.
It's a pretty high threshold that you have to reach in order to qualify for any dollar assistance.
Right, so there's an Iowa Individual Assistance Program that was activated a couple weeks ago with the governor's proclamation, and right now what we said last week is gathering that information on the damage assessments, both on public infrastructure and individual homes, and we'll use that information to petition through the state to FEMA for that federal assistance.
That's why it's so important to make sure that you get on that database, because the more the merrier as far as getting the help we need. It makes sense. It's pretty obvious too.
Well, with a flash flood, we just know going in it's going to be underreported, because so many people had a couple inches of water in their basement, and they think, well, I won't report that. But those numbers help us. That's that justification we need to the federal government.
Now, if someone is looking for volunteers to help them clean up their areas that were hit hard by the storm, how do they find the volunteers?
So we've put a number out there. They're welcome to call our Polk County Emergency Operations Center, 286-2154, and we'll make sure that we get them hooked up with the volunteers that are willing to help them.
Okay, so it's a different number than what's on the screen. It's 286-2154.
Yeah, the numbers you have there are for those specific types of assistance. The Volunteer Coordination Center is based out of our Emergency Operations Center.
Okay, wonderful. AJ, as always, thanks for being here, and thank you for everything you are doing for the people of Polk County.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Appreciate the update. We have